And that should just about do the trick. Fantastic. Always nice to have these sewers early on, generally fairly advantageous. And now we have, didn't really make note of it when it happened, but when we hit level 7, we of course got our evasion bonus. So now all things considered, we're up to 31 AC when we're running about, making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'm homebound. Okay. And speaking of, now we just evade you forever. And 18% chance to hit me is actually better than I would like. Oh, but random energy definitely gives you some trouble. Unknown command. Oh, right, all my macros are gone. Oh, because I've been using quick cast. That makes sense. Let's try that again. Abort. Let's make a macro key here. Apologies, just a moment here, folks. As we go through all of our usual routine, kind of forget and need to do so when we hit new versions. Feels like forever each time, but there we go. And definitely poisoned you up the wazoo. Didn't give the contact high to our friends, which is actually probably kind of preferable in this case. Ooh. Right, I guess that would hit us, right? Is why you're warning me, game? Nah, we'll be fine. There we go. Beautiful. We do eventually manage to chunk through this bad boy. We'll definitely pick up your cloak as well. Now, where the heck is Ret? These late altars are kind of hurting survivability. It's wild how many times in a row now we've gotten this same kind of general setup, eh? Definitely not ideal at the end of the day, but we're somehow making it through. I guess in this case, the additional evasion and acrobat ability of the Tengu has temporarily given us a little bit of a reprieve from an otherwise lethal starting to the dungeon. Oof. And a Venom Mage's worst nightmare. What the heck do I do with you, friend? I probably lead you into this little abandoned corner of the dungeon here. One turn is fine, and then we can head back up to a different stairwell, and we probably should just leave, but I'd like to get a little more experience. Plus the temple could still be on this floor for all we know. And if we skip that completely, then oh me oh my, we're gonna be in a rough spot. Shoot. I got nothing for you, friend. I guess we have a Wand of Flame. Not going as well as I was hoping for. But it does seem like we will eventually make it through here. Fantastic. At least some minor amount of recourse against an ice-themed enemy. Everyone else, though, is just going to be bad for business. Ooh. An orb, though? Orb of Light. Basically just see invisible, I guess. Seeing as how we don't really worry too much about accuracy across the board here, or at least hopefully we never have to resort to that, and we can instead kind of skirt by on pure magic use alone. I did notice when we were checking our spells that we do have OTR up and running now fully, so that should be a good bonus to our ability to deal with issues as they come up here. But I don't know. Time is yet to tell. Also, I guess what we should probably do, head back to our stairwell and let's start reading through our unidentified goodies, shall we? So try to get our healing potions. There's curing. Brilliance is okay. Not the heal wounds I was originally aiming for, but it'll do. And now if I confuse you first and foremost, and then just try to poison you with the new spell here, it seems to be working. You're confused, extremely poisoned, and weak. Good mix to see. Fantastic. And that does bring us to experience level 9 as well. I'm hoping that we get some like packs of enemies that are all vulnerable to poison, or at least not resistant, I should say more accurately. So not you, Sleep Cap. Jeez, is there anything else? I guess Sticky Flame? Sticky Flame gives us something. In fact, that's maybe why it was thrown into the starting spellbook now, is that you have some recourse for these poison immune enemies, because otherwise your average poor little alchemist is just gonna be in a rough spot their entire lives. But okay, Sleep Cap, come with me and you'll see. In a world of pure imagination, yeah. Sticky Flame you, my friend. Beautiful. And then an Ogier. Shouldn't be too hard for us to deal with, especially if we just let the confusion take hold. And we can finish you off pretty easily. With the sting and all that good stuff, fantastic. In fact, yeah, don't even bother with the potential miscasts on that son of a gun. And make our job a little bit easier. OTR. Beautiful. We're hoping for that economical temple like any day now. Any day now would be very nice. Please and thank you, game. If you could be so kind. +5 Dagger of Pain has definitely been a lifesaver. There we go. Now that is the crowd we wanted to see. Unfortunately, I'm playing like a fool. But OTR is having a field day, so that's nice. Do I keep evading away? Or I could like chug a curing or two. I was also looking at the invisibility potion. Man, that very quickly deteriorated. I should not be taking shots from 2 yaks at once. Definitely falling a little too much into the general rhythm of the run here, not paying too close of attention to actually intelligent play whatsoever. Whoops. Let's go curing, then go back to dodging. Oh, we did get the random gap as well, so that's fantastic. And then from now on, we actually should be okay, because we can confuse these sons of guns, poison them up. Bada boom, bada bing, Bob's your uncle. And we get out. So yeah, the curing, also getting lucky and just not getting hit after the curing, and then some random energy shenanigans going our way. But let's not look the gift horse in the mouth, and instead just be happy it went down the way it did, shall we? Not sure we had a good option. I don't believe we did there, unfortunately. It was definitely a bit of a rough spot, to say the least. Immediately kill the ice beast with some fire. Love it. Ooh, Joseph, I was hoping I could actually step to you a little bit. In fact, this blind corner will indeed get that done, so never mind. We're fine in the end. And the poison should finish you off. I'll leave you to it. Beautiful. +1 leather armor of willpower. I doubt this will affect our spellcasting much. Yeah, you know, went up 3% failure rate on Sticky Flame. Definitely not too shabby here. Gives us a little more defensive capability. So that's not too bad whatsoever. Oh no. Economical Temple was somewhere up here. Ooh, it has to be on this floor, which we ran away from because of the whites. Oh man, I'm not really equipped to deal with them any more than I was on our first time here. Well, I guess we can start up this direction. There shouldn't be any of those sons of guns here. And maybe the Economical Temple was inside us all along. Nope. Maybe check Control O, quick chase, or real quick instead of a change. Yeah, I believed I saw earlier still 4 to 7, so yikes. +5 dagger might be good enough. I do think it's good enough offensively. The main issue therein is that our defenses suck. So it's very quickly the scenario degrades into something untangible. So you're poison resistant. What about Mercury? Mercury still weakens you. Okay. So we can still weaken these bad boys, we just can't damage them. That's not too bad. Oof, that's what I was afraid of. Random energy away from me, please. No? No dice? Well, in that case, I'm going to turn invisible. First and foremost. And then when we're fully evasive and invisible, you have a 6% chance to hit me. Not too bad whatsoever. Weaken you. And you're at 17% when I don't have my evasion bonus. 16 max damage with the poison. That's what I was afraid of. What can I do with you? Can't polymorph you. Man almighty. I guess what I should have done probably earlier in this encounter was a little bit of sticky flame. Holy crap. Yeah, that did the trick. Oh, not exactly comfortable by any stretch of the imagination, but did do the trick. So we weaken you, kiddos, and then we stick you with some flames. And that'll do. Oh my gosh, there we go. Jeez Louise, that was an endeavor, to say the least. Let's see. Do we continue the Rue trend? What else was I thinking with this character? Did I want to try anyone else on for size? I'm trying to think of who we haven't done already that's available to us here. Fedass, of course. McLeb. Nah. We haven't won with Ash yet, have we? Again, I need to actually, put all this stuff into a spreadsheet somewhere, because I'm bound to forget constantly which gods we've already won with, which we haven't, but I don't think Ash is on that list yet, unless it was one of the very early ones. I wanted to try Che. Oh, but I like Che on my slow boys. I'm all about the Naga Che's. Naga Che till my dying day. Wrap it up for the snakes at home, you know what I mean? Though I think there might have been a change to that. Again, skimmed the patch notes. I think I saw something about Che was different. I'm not sure what it is. So I don't think Che on this character. I don't think it quite fits the bill for what I'm aiming for, what I'm going for. Could go for one of the classics. I'm trying to think, like the Shining one. Probably want someone a little more martial, so we get that Holy Brand. So that's nice. Ash's trickier on species with limited gear slots. Tengu aren't too bad because they're only missing boots, but still. Ooh, no, we're missing boots and, well, helmets. We can still wear hats. But you are right. Kind of was blanking over that. Oh man. What do we even do? One of the good gods? Bleh. Not really feeling it. Say all in on Rue works with everything. Probably gonna need something other than poison. True. We've been very Rue-centric for the past while here. Let's go for it. The main issue with Rue is that it also completely cuts off any potential Luganu shenanigans in the future. Because most other Wrath we're totally fine dealing with, but Rucifer themselves, not so much. But hey, that's not really a problem if we just never leave your side. You never leave me, Rue, I'll never leave you. We have a nice little codependent relationship. What the hell, DCSS? Seven-headed Hydra on D8. Love to see it. Super fun, fair, and balanced, as all things should be. Let's get some poison on you, kiddos. You're not getting the weakened effect from my mercury vapors. What's up with that? Okay, let's confuse you before you hit us with another one of those nasty sons of guns. But hey, there we go. Not too bad. Things that Rue cuts off. Luganu switch and your arm. Couldn't have said it better myself. Rue's great at high piety, but it is drawback at low piety. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Definitely, I'm excited to get another solid Rue run going at some point here, because I do want to see Apocalypse in action when I'm not using it to actively get myself killed in Spider. You know, these things happen, but would be nice. Surprised that Meteorans are now humans. Interesting. So Meteorans were removed. Are you saying that something from Meteoran was added to human? It's not the speedrunning aspect, right? It's not the increased Zot timer? or I guess decrease Zot timer is more appropriate. What would they have gone? Meteorans, healed on discovery, or on exploration, I guess. They had crazy aptitudes, but that's another thing that doesn't fit into what humans were in this game, so I doubt that's the avenue they took. Did they get exploration healing? Maybe I did read that somewhere, but it's also the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head. Heal and discovery for humans. Okay, that's... I don't know if I could have logicked that out. I'm sure I accidentally read that at some point and had just also managed to forget about it in the intervening time. But that's kind of cool. It's nice to give humans something, because pretty much in every fantasy game out there, humans get the short end of the stick of not even being bad, but just being boring. Your special powers that you have no special powers. Cool. Thanks, fantasy. I mean, you're not wrong. Humans are pretty lame, especially when we have options to all these, you know, amazing, fantastical creatures and beings. But still feel like we get the short end of the stick in that front. But okay, fighting hit 3 immediately upon killing just a few of these big boys. I probably should train more spellcasting. Or not spellcasting the skill, but spellcasting schools, I should say. Excuse me, Jesus. Okay, start on fighting, because that's just always going to be good. And then let's take another look. What do we have available to us? Yikes. I guess Freezing Cloud. That's where we're going? Really the only option here? We are good at conjurations, so that's nice. Not so much at ice magic, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Conjurations, sure. Why not? Let's put that up to 12. In AD&D, their special thing was not being level capped. Nice, yeah. And then again, elf and dwarf were classes. That is very strange, to say the least. Oh, that's what the Blade Talisman looks like? That is cool as heck, brother. This might hit me. Never mind, never doubt. Whatsoever. Knew we were safe, and then we can just murder the rest of these sons of guns as they make the approach. Oh, my brother. We shouldn't be fighting like this, sir. Oh, Tengu on Tengu violence. When will it stop? You know? But okie dokie. Blade Talisman that we'll never use, but I'm going to pick it up temporarily here just to see what is going on. Minimum skill of 10? Whoa, that's not even that bad. Damn. Equipped weapons, shields, and gloves are melded, but you get to keep all your other armor? That's pretty fantastic. Okay, we're going to give the shapeshifting a try sometime relatively soon. Probably not on this run. Again, if we're kind of being honest with ourselves, but at some point in the future, I'd like to give it a shot and hopefully manage to find a Blade Talisman and survive long enough to actually put it into action. So that seems pretty fantastic. Makes sense. It's pretty much how Blade Hands was indeed. I guess the other thing they'd also give... I should probably read. Shapeshifting skill mitigates and eventually eliminates the latter effects. So that's the reducing effectiveness of armor. That's the kind of interesting little flavor change that they've thrown on top of the classic Blade Hands spell, hey? Huh. Not too bad. Does the Hydra resist poison? They are, right? I believe all Hydras are. Yeah. Yeah, so not great. Again, we could weaken it, but 59 health, 5 AC. Bit of a weakening isn't exactly gonna change anything, unfortunately. So we're just gonna head back the heck out of there. Hopefully we don't run into that friend again here. Very much becoming the theme of the run here is just barely avoid things until we can hopefully come back at a later date and take care of business every day in every way. It's alright. Ooh, another barding here. The barding, I will say, looks a lot less like, I don't know, barding that you'd put on an animal, and much more so like a really cute little skirt. Not against it. Let's make that very clear. The flow probably looks pretty awesome. I'm curious if it looks different on the character sprite as well, but definitely changes the general vibe I get from it, which does give it more of a like, oh, it's a sense of fashion instead of, oh, these sentient animal-like beings are dressed like their animal counterparts, which didn't always feel, you know, essentially accurate. I don't know where my brain was going with this. I thought we'd stumble into some kind of meaning in life as we made our way through the conversation. Yikes. Even up close, you're still a little rough for me, hey? I guess 28 plus 5, that's definitely a lot. Yes, it's meant to be like a cape, but hanging in front instead. A bit of a loincloth action going on. At least it's a cute loincloth. That's the important part. 77% chance to hit you with that. That's not great. If I enrage you, that doesn't seem like it would help. I guess Sticky Flame is our best bet, right? Nothing appears to happen. Son of a gun. Did a couple tabs after the confusion dropped. I did, but I was hoping that we were just in melee range, so we were fine, not really realizing quite how early in the run we were here. Yikes. Oh man, I am not playing up to par today, and that's a low bar to clear. When it's my standards of what my general playstyle is like, exceptionally low bar, and we've somehow managed to roll a nat 1, trip over our face, and slam directly into the bar. It's at shin height, so whoopsie daisies. But again, I'm gonna just shift all the blame on the fact that it's new stuff, so how could we possibly do better? It's definitely the new things. It is the children who are wrong. I'm not out of touch. But okie dokie, how are we doing for time here? Definitely coming pretty close to the end of things. Could maybe start one more run? Just don't know what I'm feeling anymore. We've exhausted a couple of the new things. Yes, we like Vine Stalkers being up there. Unfortunately, doesn't really rock my boat. Not because I don't like Vine Stalkers. I love them, but I love Vine Stalkers of Uskaya so much that any other DD choice feels lackluster to me these days. So unfortunately, it is what it is. If we did go back to shapeshifting, that's what it's called. Could try someone other than Oni, I guess. How you kids, who's good at shapeshifting in this day and age? I'm guessing that's it. I guess we can double check. Yep. Baraki are okay. Deep Elf, meh. Formicid are actually okay at it. Huh. That doesn't seem too shabby. Though, takes away one of my main things, which is dual wielding big ass weapons. Kind of. I definitely associate unarmed combat and shapeshifting as one and the same, which may or may not be a fair comparison. I guess merfolk, though, are where it's at, hey? Merfolk and... I'm not going to be a Spriggan, I refuse. Merfolk are going to be kind of squishy, but if we can survive long enough, then they at least have pretty, like, neutral aptitudes across the board. You know, good evasion. How are you at spell casting? I don't know if we want to spell cast, though.